Welcome, welcome, welcome. So a little bit of an off-the-cuff one today. I just fancied playing a bit of No Man's Sky, and I thought, you know what? Haven't played or done a live stream for a while, and I don't really fancy doing the expedition. I've still got to finish the expedition, but not tonight. So I thought, you know what? I haven't done a Multitool live stream for a while. It isn't for everybody. But I thought I'd do maybe a couple of hours tonight. As I said, like off the cuff, not really sort of pre-scheduled. And if anyone catches it, and if anyone wants to jump in and ask any questions or anything like that while I'm doing this sort of live hunt, then feel free to fire away in the comments. So yeah, it might be helpful to people. It might be just something you want to whack on in the background while you play the game yourself. But either way, let's jump in and choose a save and get cracking on. Welcome to the stream, Bag of Holding. I'll get out some of my own planetary charts and take a stab at one as well, so you're not hunting alone. Yeah, cool. That's what I think most people do. They'll just kind of play the game and whack this on in the background. And if you've got any questions, or if there's anything that I'm doing which you're not sure of, or if I haven't explained anything, just fire away questions. I'm not going to kind of do a lot of commentary on this because I've done a bit of a walkthrough in 2 or 3 previous streams. So this one's going to be more for you guys to basically just find out a bit about kind of what I'm doing. So if you're unsure, or if you want me to do anything, just ask questions and fire away in the chat. Welcome to the stream, W Porter. Right, so let's see what we've got here. Right, so I'm already at the moment looking for this tool. So I'm not going to do this save. I'm going to do a different save. Because this, I'm already sort of halfway through. What I want to do is do a fresh one, basically, instead of one that I'm already currently in the middle of. So I've just got to quickly find a save, and then we can get cracking on. Right, let's have a look. Where are we? Let's see what we've got on this save. I think this one's got no current tools. Let's have a look. See, we're currently in a tier 3. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is so normally I'll kind of look in every system. Let me just turn the music down a bit. Yeah, so normally I'd look in every system basically for a tool. But in this stream, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to look on every planet if the system is a tier 3. So even if that box there is a C class, I'm going to still look on every planet for the A class cabinet if it's a tier 3 economy. If it's a tier 2 economy, I'm only going to look in these systems if that cabinet is an A class. Or if that cabinet shows an exotic tool. If it doesn't show an exotic tool and it isn't an A class, I'm just going to go straight on to the next system unless it's a tier 3. And then if it's a tier 3 like this one, then I'm going to look in look on every planet basically. Right, so the first thing that I need to do is I've got to this system. That box there is a a C class. It's a standard pistol. So this is one of 4 multi-tools that is in the space station pool at the moment. There's only 4 multi-tools in every single pool on every single planet in the space station. So that's one of 4. Have just a quick look at the ships. Right, so the first thing that I do is just get in the ship and ping off 6 charts. 2, 3, 4, 5, and come on. You know you want to. 6. There's the 6. Right, so that's all the buildings highlighted, and now we just head straight to the minor settlement. I love this ship. This is my favourite ship in the game. I found this about 2 years ago. It's still there. I love it. I'm not normally mad on the box thrusters, but on this ship and with those Starscream boosters, it goes really well. It's a great looking ship. Right, let's get down. Down, 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 down. Right, so this is number 2 of 4, and it's an A. So I'm going to trust that, and I'm just going to go straight ahead, put a beacon down, and reload a save here. So I'm just going to, at the moment, I'm just kind of a bit blind, because I haven't seen all the tools yet in that pool, but I'm trusting that this is going to be the natural A class. Or native A class, whatever you want to call it. So I'm now just going to see what this planet's A class tool is. And it's a crappy one, but the same colour. You'll find actually that in each system there is typically a theme with the multi-tools, just like there is with the ships and the freighters and frigates. They do tend to have quite similar colours, especially on the standard tools. So yeah, it's just like one of these things that you notice if you go to as many systems as me. Right, so we're going to go up and we're going to do all the other planets now. Let's go for this one in the distance. Chronic Coughs, welcome to the stream. You've put, I started finding around 2 to 3 settlements because I noticed the alternative classes showing more than anything. Really love it when an A class cab spawns a lower alternative. Yeah, yeah, I mean A classes can spawn as S or B. So you do, like, in a especially in a tier 3 system, you'll see A class tools sometimes spawn as B, a lot of the time spawn as A, and very rarely as S. But in tier 2 systems, you'll find an S class as quick as what you'll find an S class in any of the tier 2 or tier 3 systems. But what you'll find is if your search is quite long and your search is quite dragged out, so let's just say you did a search and you're 50 settlements in a tier 2 and you're 50 settlements in on a tier 3, what you'll notice is the difference between the two is in the tier 2 you will have seen a hell of a lot of B class tools appearing in the cabinets, as opposed to the native A appearing in a lot of A class tools, so it can get really frustrating. Whereas in a tier 3 you'll see a lot more A class tools appearing than you will B class if they're a native A class tool. So it's not as frustrating, but it doesn't make a difference whether you search for an S class in a tier 2 or a tier 3, because you can literally fly down to a planet in a tier 2 and get an S class cabinet pop straight away, just like you can in tier 3. And on the flip side of that, you could spend 2 hours looking for an S class cabinet in a tier 2, just like you can in a tier 3. It honestly makes no difference. It only makes a difference on the tiers below as to how many of each of those classes that you'll see. And you'll see lower classes appearing a lot more in tier 2 than you will in tier 3. Yeah, so I used to hunt just tier 3, but I'm actually finding, and it's pure luck, it's RNG, there's no pattern, but the last sort of 4 or 5 really nice tools that I've found have actually been in tier 2 economies. So I'm not kind of, I don't really care either way on the tier, and the same for ship hunting. Like, I don't care if it's a tier 2 or a tier 3. The one thing that I always do is just I never ever go to a tier 1. Absolute waste of time. And the other thing that's a complete waste of time for only for multi-tool hunting, like for ships and everything else it's fine, but for multi-tool hunting, basically just don't waste your time looking in black market systems. They're a complete waste of time for multi-tools, because the rules don't apply in black market systems, and a C class tool could actually spawn into an S class cabinet, and an A class tool might not spawn into an S class cabinet. The rules don't apply, and it's very, very frustrating. The only way that you can 100% with full transparency, the only way that you can guarantee finding a tool in S class in a black market system is to find the S class cabinet first, because like I said, C class tools in that system can actually spawn into that S class cabinet, and you might look for an hour, you might have stumbled across an A class, and you might be looking for an hour for the S class cabinet because you've seen a really, really nice A class tool. But when you eventually find that S class cabinet, that A class tool might not even spawn into that cabinet. So as I said, the only way that you can definitely, with 100% certainty, guarantee all the tools that you see in that system come in as an S class, you have to find the S class cabinet first. So they're a waste of time, because you can spend 2 minutes or 2 hours looking for an S class cabinet, only to then spawn all the planet's tools into that cabinet, and they're all rubbish tools. So there's so many tier 3 and tier 2 cabinets out there, systems out there, there's just no point in looking in black market systems. It's a waste of time, believe me. I've done it, and I've spent far too much time trying to work it all out, and it's a waste of time. Right, another rifle there, so that's another rifle. Apologies as well, my Streamlabs isn't working properly, or it's probably more that I haven't set it up properly, but anyone that subscribes or anyone that super chats or whatever, it's not notifying me at the moment. So I don't know how to fix that either. So it just did ping there, but I couldn't see anything, so I'm really sorry about that. A black alien with white markings and blue crystals. Well, it will probably be out there somewhere. I think I just went to this one. Let me just check. Silent Robot, welcome to the chat, mate. We'll go to this one here. Andres Denmark, welcome to the chat. Ricey, welcome to the chat. Better grab some matchsticks for your eyes because multi-tool hunting can be quite boring. Yeah, I used to be like if I used to be of the mindset where I'd only basically post tools if I found the S class or they appeared as an S class. But I think these days, like this tool here that I found, which was it will be quite popular. I found this tool about 2 weeks ago, and it's probably the rarest tool that I've found to date. So far, it's one of my favourites as well. But I found this one, and this is this actually comes as a C class. But because when you get exotic tools like this, I don't really care about the class. I'll just find whatever is available and then just upgrade it. Because actually, when you upgrade it, it doesn't really make too much difference on the stats. At all. In fact, sometimes by upgrading it, you can even get better stats, like you can with the ships. Right, reload a save. Just found the beauty of an A-class alien tool at a space station. Blue with light blue crystals and pipes. Nice, very nice. Definitely keep that. But yeah, I'll just repeat what I said earlier. Do not waste your time. And if you go to a black market system and you see like an S-class cabinet on the station, definitely then fly down to all the planets and reload and see what is going to appear in that S-class space station cabinet. Likewise, if you've got a decent A-class tool in there, like an experimental and alien, maybe go down and have a look. But all I'm saying is, unless you see an S-class cabinet on the space station, do not waste your time looking for multi-tools in pirate systems. They're a waste of time. The rules don't apply, nothing works, and it's all just, I don't know as if it's intentional or if it's still just bugged, but it's a waste of time. Fine for ships, fine for solar ships, but not for multi-tools. Al Ross, welcome to the chat. Posted it on Zoo's Discord, Austin, with glyphs. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. I've sort of come away a bit from Discord. I had a bit of a... That's where that bloody bot is on Discord, so I got the ump with that. The customization bot. Not my thing. Right, so I've got a couple more planets to do. How many have I done? I've got 1, 2, 3. So I'll go to this ringed one. So there's been just 2 rifles so far out of the 3 planets, but that's quite encouraging. The rest of us are still there, and we The other thing is though, Ricey, is I'm like an admin on the Interstellar Index on Facebook. I mean, I don't use Facebook much personally anymore, like for personal life stuff and that. But because I'm on the Interstellar Index and because I still use Reddit, if I post something and I've got like kind of 2 or 3 Discord pages to look at as well, it ends up taking like 10 minutes just to get one post out. So I've just sort of chunked it down as well back to just Facebook and Reddit, because then you can, you know, you've only got to send out 2 posts. Plus as well, on Discord they get really arsey, the admins on Discord pages, about what you can and can't do, and I can't be dealing with all that shit. I just want to get a picture up with my multi-tool or ship and just post it. Some of them Discord pages have got too many rules and too many power trippy admins and stuff. Cool ship, yeah, it's my favourite ship, this. I love this ship. It's a find of mine from about 2 years ago. It's a 2-tone white. It's not like a full proper all white. It's 2 shades of white, but it's my favourite design. I love this ship. It's an alpha. Alphas are my favourite ships, always have been. I like alphas and long noses in terms of fighters. And yeah, this is posted on the index. It's posted on the No Man's Sky coordinate exchange as well. It is on there somewhere. But yeah, it's an alpha, and as I said before, I don't normally like the box thruster, but with these Starscream wings and like the shockwave wings, the Starscream boosters and the shockwave wings, the box thruster actually goes really well with the streaks as well. It's just a really, really nice looking ship, this. Like, small and sleek. It looks like a proper fighter. Lovely ship, that is. If I don't say so myself. Right, that's the 3rd rifle. See how it's got a similar sort of colour as well. So 3 out of 4 planets of rifles. Well, it does increase your chances of seeing like an alien rifle or an experimental rifle. Whoops. Oh, I know what you mean, but you can still come and chat. You can post what you like on mine. Yeah, fair point. I might pop back on a couple and just have a look, see what's going on. I've posted quite a few ships actually recently on the... Yeah, look, if I go now, you'll see the white popping a bit more now. But you can see how this is like proper white, and then this little bit here that is normally chrome, it's just a bit of an off-white. But even still, it's yeah, I love this one. I've got this on 2 or 3 of my saves, this ship. Austin, curious your thoughts on ship multi-tool customization. Would you want a feature like that if they did it in a way that felt good for people like us that like to hunt exotics as well? I mean, I used to be like fully against like all forms of ship and especially multi-tool customization, because the bottom line is this game is RNG, right? The whole basis of this game is random number generation, right? It's just completely random. So the fundamentals of this game is RNG and exploration. It used to be a bit more RNG, exploration and survival, but that survival has basically just died. You know, there's nothing really survival about this game now. It's dead easy, even on permadeath. So it's really just an exploration game and RNG. So for me, if you introduce something that takes away the RNG element of the game as well as exploration, it kind of defeats the purpose of the game, in my opinion. but I'm not as hardcore on that view now as I used to be. I think the majority of the community, they want ship customization. Like, that's just, you know, if you put a survey out, 99% of people want it as a feature. So I get it, you know, I completely get it. Bad for ship hunters, great for the community. I guess if they did something like customization or paint, it would need to find some sort of a balance. I'm probably still more against it than I am for it. Personally, that's just my own view on it. Ship hunting, I personally, again, am not going to be as bothered as I used to be, because I don't really ship hunt as much these days. But if they introduced multi-tool, like full-on multi-tool customization, I don't know how I'd feel about that. It would piss me off, definitely. Whether it would push me away from the game or not, I honestly don't know. I think people out there that hunt, and the regulars on like the No Man's Sky coordinate exchange and the index, I think they're always going to hunt. It's just like in them. It's part of them in this game. It's what they do. Same for me. So I don't think we'd ever stop, but I don't think it would be as fun or as interesting, and I don't think people would do it as much if they brought it in for both ships and tools. That's just my personal thought. So in short, I used to be really against it, like complete zero tolerance, totally against it. These days I'm a bit more open to it. I'm still quite tough against it on multi-tools, because that's what I do. But ship hunting is still, and it has been for years, the most asked for feature in this game by the community, so it can't be ignored. It's got to come in at some point, right? But yeah, that's just my view on that. Right, I think I've got one more planet. Yep, this little one over here. And then we're done. On to the next system. Yeah, but I mean, I've seen a few people comment about it, about if they were going to do some form of customization, like making it really difficult to find the parts or making it really expensive. But No Man's Sky is an easy game. Like, it doesn't matter how expensive something will cost. As an example, like if people are talking about units, like I've seen a few of the streamers talk about, you know, each part costing like 10 billion. Well, that doesn't make a difference, because there's dupers in this game, right? And it doesn't take too much effort to make 10 billion units if you want something, right? Most of us don't need to make that much money, because we don't need to buy anything worth 10 billion. But if we did have to make that money, it would be easy, right? So, like, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything that they could do with regards to finding stuff and or making stuff expensive that wouldn't be, it wouldn't stop you doing what you want to do with a ship or a tool in a matter of hours. Like, it wouldn't take long. So I don't really buy into kind of making it hard, because I don't think you can make it hard. It's not that sort of game. You know, you can't make it so it takes someone like 10 days to find something, because how do you do that, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know what they would do, personally. Yeah, I've got no idea what they would do. I mean, the best thought that I've seen on this so far, I'm not sure if it was his original idea, but in one of Zane's streams about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, we had sort of a chat around this about what you could do to keep the balance between the people that want customization for ships and the hunters, so there's a nice balance. And Zane had the best idea, which was to introduce, like they did with solar ships, introduce a brand new ship that's never been in the game before and call it something like an experimental ship. And that ship will be the ship that you can customize. So like you can basically, it will come with say 10 different interchangeable modular parts, and however they do it, it would be up to you to go and find each part, each colour, and get the units to pay for each part. So what it will do is it will bring people with unique ships and unique ship colours on a brand new ship variant, but it will keep all of the older legacy ships like this Alpha, like the haulers. It will keep all of those still in the game, still as completely RNG, and keep the people that like hunting these ships happy. So the people that want customization get customization, they get a new ship to play around with and build and do what they want with, but they leave all of the older ships untouched, so you can still RNG and go out and hunt. That for me was probably the most logical and best solution so far to keep both parties happy, so to speak. But this is quite a rare tool, this. So this has got 3 bones on the end, Defiance of Clarity, and they're actually, what makes it rare is they've got a slight red tint to them on the end. Normally these are either straight white, straight grey or straight tan, which is what you've got here, but actually these have got a slight red tint on the end of them. So although this is a standard rifle, like it's not an exotic tool by any means, these exotic attachments on it here make it actually quite rare, particularly as the bone has got a tinge on the end of it. Now, what I've got to sort of think about is whether this is really kind of worth hunting or not. What was the planet that it spawned on? It's a noxious planet. What do you guys think? I'll leave it up to you in the chat. Do you think I should just move on and see if I can get an alien or experimental, or do you think this is worth hunting for the S-Class? Like I said, it's a standard tool, but these attachments here make it quite rare. I'm just wondering if I found the S-Class and then posted it on Reddit or the Index, would it actually, you know, be that popular? I don't know. But I definitely know this is, I mean, for me, this is, as an experienced hunter, this is quite a rare tool. It's got the extended butt at the rear as well, as opposed to it finishing there. Yeah, I'm going to move on. That was my gut feeling anyway. Right, let's get on to the next system. The teal green crystal, yeah. Be nice to see one tonight. Right. So, I don't know about you guys, but as you can see, when I hunt, I don't jump that big distances, as you'll see. So actually, if you ever see me post a find, like if you ever see me post a tool on the exchange, let's just say I put one up today. Let's just say you like the tool and you went there, and say it was this system. I would probably be quite close to where you are, because I don't jump like big distances. So like if I found a tool there and you came to this system, the chances are that I'm probably still very much in the vicinity somewhere hunting around. Right, let's have a look. Balanced. That's got a moon. I don't want that. I don't like systems with moons. It doesn't look like that's got a moon, is it? It's just 3 planets though, that one. That's tier 1. That's a tier 2. That's got a moon. Medium, that's just 2 planets. Don't want that. I'm only sticking to Viking systems as well, by the way. Booming, yeah, we'll go there. That's tier 3. There is rare and there is desirable rare, yeah, true. You'd call that tool trash looking, yeah. No, I understand it. They're not my cup of tea, those tools. In fact, tell a lie, I did find an all white one, which was nice. I've actually kept that on one of the saves as well. It might even be this save. I never jump far, I always explore the local cluster. Yeah, the trouble is with right, so just on that point there, so Silent Robot, he's put, I never jump far, I always explore the local cluster. So here's something, and this is definitely a pattern. Me, Lava Lamp, and a couple of other people have sort of found this. If you find a really, really good tool, like a plasma tube rifle or like a experimental with crystals or whatever, it's definitely worth just once you've found it, each system that you're in, let me just quickly show and explain. Right, so on your galaxy map, we're in this system here, and as you can see, it's got the region. I'm in the region of, what does it say there? Rhodium conflux at the moment, yeah? Can you see that? So it's got the name of the system at the top, then just below that it's got region. So if I click on like any of these stars here, they're all in this same region, yeah? Like you get with like civs, like civ hubs. And the regions can be quite big. See, that's a different region there, over there. This is the region that I'm in here. See, that's a different region. So they can be quite big, the regions, like with probably, you know, up to a couple of 100 different stars. So I'm still in the region here. But what I'm saying is so I'm in this system here, and it's the Rhodium conflux. Now, as an example, that really rare tool that I've just recently found, what I'm actually doing now is I'm going to every single tier 2 and tier 3 star in the region that tool has been found in. Because what you'll find is more often than not, the way RNG sort of works in this game, like with patterns and stuff, if this system here spawns a really rare exotic tool, it's always worth just, I won't do this for every tool, just really like super rare good looking tools. I'll always just spend a good week or more sticking to this same region and just going to every single star, because we've found that more often than not, if you find a really good tool in this region, the chances are quite high that there's another one as well. There could be more than one, there could be 2, 3, 4, because there are definitely patterns in this game with ships, tools, planets, fauna, flora, everything. And once you see one thing appear, not all the time, but more often than not, you will see potentially another really rare, decent, like if you found an experimental crystal here, you might find in this same region, in one of these other stars, another experimental with crystals. Don't ask me why, technically, because I've got no idea. It's just something we've found, and we've seen quite a few times now in searches that it works. So that's just something to bear in mind when you talk about clusters. If you do find something really good, don't then bugger off and go like 2,000 U away from that cluster. Try and stay looking for more stuff within that vicinity of stars, because you might find something else really good. So yeah, that was just a little bit of an explanation on that. Austin, you mentioned that you avoid systems with moons in a previous video, but I didn't quite understand the reason. Could you explain? Yeah, what I'll do is I'll actually show you why I avoid them on the next system. I'll go to one with a moon, and it's just easier to show you why I don't like them and why I avoid systems with moons. So that's not a problem. Right. What are we? Tier 3 is this? Yeah, booming. So we're just going to quickly go to each planet and then come back to the space station and reload. Why Viking? Right, yeah, so that's another thing. This is actually quite recent as well. It hasn't always been the case. Viking systems, so forget Viking for a minute. I now, and a lot of other tool hunters now, avoid Corvax systems for hunting multi-tools. What you'll find is, I can't remember which update it was. It was amplified in Frontiers update, but it actually happened in an update before Frontiers, but I forget which one it was. But what you'll find is, if you go to a Corvax system and then you find a really nice tool that you like, you hunt it down and you eventually get to the S-Class, great, you've got the tool and it's there. Now what can happen in Corvax systems is it can glitch out. You'll find that you'll go back to that S-Class cabinet and a different tool will spawn, and invariably, not just a different tool, but a C-Class tool will spawn. And it can take a good, like, either 2 save reloads, or it can take literally about 20 minutes worth of reloading a save to actually eventually get that S-Class back and pop it back into the cabinet. And that is, from what I've found so far in my own exploration and talking to other multi-tool hunters, it seems like it's unique to Corvax. It doesn't happen with Gek or Viking systems. Like, you don't get that glitch happening. And what you'll actually notice as well is, if you ever experience the glitch, you'll notice that the minor settlement that it glitches, that the cabinet glitches in, the minor settlement actually very, very slightly moves place as well. I'm talking literally, if you look at your coordinates, it will be like 0.1 out compared to where it was, and it might actually be slightly off the ground as well. And as I said, from what we've seen, it doesn't happen with any other of the 2 races. It just happens with Corvax. So just purely for the sake that, kind of, if you just exclusively hunted in Corvax systems, I would guarantee now, since the Frontiers update, you would probably have about 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 multi-tools glitch on you if you just stuck to Corvax. So now I just, for the sake of videos and for the sake of finding an S-Class, putting that S-Class out on social media, and then getting 500 comments from people saying it's a different tool, and then having to explain why it's done what it's done, I just completely avoid Corvax systems now. I don't even go to them. The reason why I go to Viking is because I like fighters. So while I'm multi-tool hunting, obviously you get 7 different fighters in Viking systems. So while I'm hunting, I will tend to kind of just wait and see what the first wave. I never really ship hunt as such anymore, but I will just sort of see what ships are coming in and just keep an eye out for a good fighter. That's the only reason why I go Viking. It's nothing to do with multi-tools. No, I haven't got that white one on me. And the other thing with Viking is if you don't cheat and you don't use save editor, you always get nanites in that room there and in that room there. So you get kind of two options for nanites, and you get nanites as well in the minor settlements in Viking systems, and you don't always get that in Corvax and Gek. So yeah, basically, in short, just avoid, when you're multi-tool hunting, just two general rules really are avoid Corvax and avoid what do you call it, black market systems. Right, let's get to the next one. So I always work clockwise around the space station. How many planets have we got here? 4. That's sort of the minimum really. You want at least 4. Because it just increases your chances of seeing a decent tool, that's all. They spawn the best stuff. Well, I mean, it is RNG. Viking systems spawn just as many good tools and everything else as any other system, but what they do differently is they spawn more fighters. So that's the only reason why I stay with Viking systems, because I like fighters basically. I like solars as well. They sort of did become my favourite ship, but I'm kind of over them now. And because I'm a multi-tool hunter, I don't go to black market systems now. So I hunted around a bit for them when they first come out, but I don't do that anymore. So Andres has put, I know a few things about RNG. Some of them can have patterns, and humans can also be biased toward finding patterns in curious ways. Yeah, the only thing that I'll say to that is it definitely isn't a bias that when you go to a system, the space station colour is quite closely linked to the freighter and frigates and ships and tools in that system. And what you'll also find, again, this is not bias, this is kind of a lot of trial and error and finding stuff and sort of testing, is if you're in a system, say like this one now, a Viking, if you see a long nose fighter appear, so basically stubby, long nose and alphas, they appear a lot less often than vipers, barrel nose and snow speeders. That is just fact. So the alphas, the long noses, particularly with stubby fighters, rassers as well to an extent, they appear a lot less often than your typical viper, barrel. You'll almost guarantee in every single system you go to, you'll see a snow speeder fighter, but you won't always see a long nose, alpha, or whatever else. Now, what you'll also find with that is if in that system an alpha fighter appears, the chances are there might be another one. Or if a long nose fighter appears, there might be 2 or even 3. Whereas then you can go another 10 systems of not seeing a single long nose fighter again, but in that one system you might have 2 or 3, because the RNG, it is RNG and it is like obviously random, but it does have certain patterns with it, even down to like parts of ships. Like you might see like a tie wing snow speeder coming in, and you might actually see another 2 or 3 fighter variants with tie wings as well in that system. It's just the way it is. I can't explain it, but you know, with thousands of hours of testing and stuff, you do start picking up on like quirky little things regarding this RNG. Yeah, by design. Yeah, I don't know. It might be by design. I mean, everything is predetermined in this game as well. So like, everything in this game is already there to be found. Like, it's already at a fixed location, just waiting for someone to come and basically unlock it. It's all there. Like, the best ship you'll ever find, the best tool you could ever want, it's out there. You've just got to find it. It's already out there. The seeds are already in the system. Like, every planet, every animal, plant, it's all predetermined, all done. Sorry, I think that was... I just want to check on this ship that just came in there. Yeah, I thought I saw that. Perfect. That is a lovely long nose. That's going to go well. I'm going to keep this for one of my fleets. So just bear with me a moment. I know we're on a tool hunt, but I just need to get some pictures of this because... and I'm going to need to exchange a ship. Because I've got a black and... I'm on a Sith Lord, black and red themed save at the moment. So basically I'm gonna get this for a different save. I can't on this save because I'm maxed out with my ships. This is my white fleet, so it won't look right in this fleet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go out and get some pictures so I know where it is. I might not post it, but this is a theme that I'm running with at the moment on one of my saves. As you'll see, I don't ever put filters on my pictures either. That's a mean looking long nose, that. I like that. And then last but not least, the glyphs. And then I just want to get the system. What are we in? Euclid. Yeah. That's it. Lovely ship, that. If you want to go and grab that, feel free. Nice. It's only a C. Yeah, but I don't care about classes on ships because we can upgrade them since Origins. We used to worry about the class on ships, but we don't need to worry about that anymore. So just buy anything, because just as well, Rarity know this, but when it comes to ships, right? Each ship has its own stat range, and that is fixed. So it doesn't matter what mode you play on, like normal, survival, permadeath, whatever. Each ship variant in every system has its own fixed stat range, right? And because it works from the seed is fixed, and so are all the stats. And look, see what I mean? Look, just going back to that RNG, we've got another black and red ship here. You see what I'm saying? How the theme works in the like, you know, you'll see certain colours or parts or whatever. Anyway, basically each ship has its own stat range, right? So that fighter there is it's got a shield strength of 177, a hyperdrive range of 101, and maneuverability of 351, and damage of 77.7, right? Now, that damage range there of 77.7, the actual range of this ship might land again as another C class, but it might have a damage of 776 and not 77.7, because each ship has its own range of stats. Now, this is where people get really anal about whether upgrading to an S-class is beneficial or not. Because what can happen is, if this ship was an S-class, and let's just say it had a damage potential of 150, and this landed here in front of us as a S-class with 150, well, that S-class might actually have a range of between, say, 145 and 152. So actually that natural S-class that has just landed is not necessarily the highest possible stat that it can come in this system, because it sits within a range. And if it lands at and it shows at 150, but actually its maximum is 152, you could actually hang around for another S-class to come in and get a higher damage stat. Now, when it comes to upgrading your ship all the way from a C to an S, or a B to an S, or A to an S, this upgrade machine here, it keeps the stat fixed, so that the S-class stats will never ever change, right? So regardless to what class this ship here is, when you upgrade it to an S-class there, the end result, the end stat, will always be the same. Now, just going back to this ship here, if it landed as a 150, right, but the maximum stat on this ship is 152, that upgrade station there, its fixed stat might be 152, because that upgrade station there, out of the stat range of each ship, it is fixed on one of the stats in that range. Now, it could be that upgrade station is fixed at 149. So it will actually be more beneficial for you to wait. If you're bothered about stats, it will be more beneficial for you to wait for this S-class to land, because you might get it higher naturally than what you will upgrading it at that upgrade station there. But if that fixed stat on the upgrade station is at the top end of the S-class stat range, or even better, if it is at the top end and it is the top stat, you will never ever ever be able to find the S-class ship in the wild better than what you can actually upgrading it at that upgrade station. So and you can only see all this, by the way, by using Save Editor on PC. But if you upgrade a ship to S-class on that upgrade station, there's a very, very good chance that you're going to still get a better end stat than what you will on a ship flying in here as a natural S-class. You might get a worse stat, but they're going to be very, very similar regardless. But with on the Interstellar Index, the maximum hyperdrive range that a shuttle can have is 181, and we've got 2 or 3 shuttles in the index that are on the upgrade station, they upgrade to a 181 light year hyperdrive range. But in the wild, we have never ever seen that ship come in with a 181. Doesn't matter how many of us have tried, we've never seen the Explorer come in naturally higher than what we can actually upgrade it to on that upgrade station there. So don't always be put off by upgrading your ship, because it isn't a bad thing. You might actually get better stats doing that. So that's a very long-winded way of explaining that, but I just wanted to be quite clear on how that works, because it isn't always going to benefit you sitting around waiting for like 2 hours for an S-Class ship to come in, when you can actually upgrade it and get better stats doing that as well. So don't always be put off by that, because that's what we all do now. Very true, good sir. How do you figure out the range on the C-Class, for example? You can't. You can only look at the range, the actual stats, via save editor, as far as I know. There might be another way you can do it, but as far as I know, you need a PC and save editor, or save editor on consoles. Almost better to get any class and upgrade it if you have the nanites. Yeah, definitely. Like there's really no point in waiting around for S-Class ships these days. Back in the day, like before Origins, so when did Origins come out? About 2 years ago, like 18 months or 2 years ago. It was really worth waiting around for an S-Class because you couldn't upgrade your ships. So like if you wanted a hauler with 48 slots and you needed the storage, you hung around for an S-Class, because that was the only possible way that you could get 48 slots. Same with like freighters. But now you can upgrade. There's really, honestly, there's no point in waiting around for S-Class ships now. If you get them, it's just a bonus, right? If they fly in really, really quickly, then great. But honestly, my personal view is just don't waste your time. Get a C-Class, a B-Class, or an A-Class. An A-Class, obviously, if you want to save your nanites. So the higher the better, because it just saves you nanites. But if you've got loads of nanites, or you just dupe or whatever, then just get any class and upgrade it. Honestly, it doesn't really make any difference at all. It just saves you kind of 2 hours of your life in this game. Very, very different now, this game, to what it was a few years ago. You can farm nanites, but I must admit I don't. These days, because all I do is like multi-tool hunt, I just use save editor. Like as you'll see, I save edited 1 million nanites, 50,000 quicksilver, and 3 billion. Just like with a few clicks of a button, because I just can't be bothered these days. It takes too much time. The Ukraine colours there, isn't it? Right, last planet, and then I'll go to a moon and I'll show you why I avoid moons. Yeah, you can farm nanites, but to be honest with you, it really depends on what mode you play. If you're playing normal mode, you can farm like doing various things, like derelict freighter runs. What is it, that that mould. What's it called? You know, that stuff I'm talking about. And that's fine if you're on normal mode, but when you're on survival or permadeath, it doesn't really work because you're limited to your inventory size. So farming nanites, I've always personally found that the best way to do it, if you're playing the game vanilla and basically not cheating, is just ship scrapping and selling, going to a tier 3, buying loads of A and S class ships and just scrapping them for the nanites. For normal mode, I would say probably best to do a farm, but for survival and permadeath, it takes a long time. It's a very long time. There's no real sort of quick way to get nanites really in permadeath and survival. It's a bit of a grind. Cheers, Rarity. Enjoy whatever you're doing this evening. Derelict freighters, Ryan, not abandoned. Abandoned freighters are different. You want derelict freighters, and then you want to get tainted metal, and then once you've got a load of it, either dupe it, so you've got tons of it, and then you basically just refine tainted metal, and that will give you quite a bit of nanites. Another one. See what I mean? How the RNG pattern there, that's 3 tools now that have shown with the blue and yellow finish in this cabinet. And look, there's another red and chrome fighter. So that's 3 in this system. Yeah. There's one there, one here, and that long nose. That's what I mean. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if another fighter in this system has either these horizon wings or E-wings like that there as well. Right, let's go to a system with moons. I could explain it, but it's just easier just to show people why I avoid moons. It's got no moons. Right, that's got a moon. Adequate. Yeah, that's a tier 2. Right, so just the first thing that I can explain why I don't go to moons is because they've got a smaller surface area for a start. So like, you're never going to find as many settlements, crash ships or whatever on a moon, because they're just a lot in this game. They're a lot smaller than planets. Like, the surface area is tiny compared to a planet, so you're going to be very, very limited when you're multi-tool hunting to a moon. Like, you'll probably get to like 60 or 70 settlements and you're pretty much capped out at that point, which is a long search, don't get me wrong. It's a very long search, but there's a much smaller finite amount of settlements than you get on planets. So that's like the first reason why I avoid moons. It might not do it now, but the second reason I'm about to show you. C class, right? So I'm not going to bother looking for a tool in this system, but what I'm going to show now is there is a moon in this system, right? And it probably won't do it now, but see the moon there. Now I'm going to pop off a load of maps, and I guarantee this would be like the 1 in 10 times it doesn't do it, because it does do it a lot, almost every time. But I'm going to whack off a load of these maps like I would do in any normal system while I'm in the space station. Right, so they're all here now. Right, now I'm going to fly out and guess where all of these settlements and buildings are going to be. Should we have a look? I'm going to fly to the minor settlement. Oh, look. Oh, no, it's different. It's actually the 1 in 10 times it hasn't done it. I would say 9 out of every 10 times when you're in a system with moons, particularly if there's more than one moon, the buildings will appear on that moon. It just, for some reason, the most annoying thing in this game is it picks a out of all the planets, it doesn't matter where they are in the system, the maps that you pop off, they will pop into the moon. So that's the second reason. Like, more often than not, like as I said, 9 out of every 10 times, if there's a moon in the system, the charts that you use on the space station will direct you to that moon. So that's the second reason. So first, surface area. Second is the charts. I'll see if I can show you in another system, because it will do it. Right, but now I'm going to actually fly to the moon, and I'm going to show you what the most annoying thing about looking for stuff on moons is. So, on a planet, right, see how big the planet is, yeah, and it's got a really big atmosphere as well. So, if I want to go to, say, that building over there, yeah, all you've got to do is fly up, breach the atmosphere, so you get that little glitch, like there, and then lock onto the building and pulse. And you're going to each building as quickly as that on a planet. So, like, finding 10 settlements doesn't take long at all. Like, once again, like, if I'm going to this building here, breach the atmosphere until you get the glitch, come back over, and just pulse to that building. Yeah, that's how you sort of jump between buildings. Now, let's go and try that on a moon, shall we? And I'll show you why it's the most annoying thing there is. Just got to try and find the moon first. Yeah, I think that's the moon there, isn't it? By that planet. So you can already see the difference in the size, and that looks like quite a small planet. So when we've got a building on planets, you just breach the surface, bring your nose back down, and then pulse to the next building. That does not work on a moon, and I'll show you what I mean. Right, so this is the moon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set off this minor settlement map. Oh, this is going to be there's going to be no minor settlements on here. Bugger. I think this is a oh no, yeah, no, we might be all right. Let's just see if we've got a settlement anywhere. No, it's decided not to. It's not playing ball. Oh no, yeah, there it is there. Right, so we've got a building now, right? Now on the planets, as you just saw, you just fly up to the surface, breach the surface, and then fly back round. Now the issue that you've got on moons is we'll do that. We'll go up, breach the surface. And now if we go here, it won't let me pulse, right? Even though that's, and that's the other thing, the settlements are generally not far away from each other, so you actually have to go right up, even further out, way out of the atmosphere, and even then you still can't do it. I still can't pulse to that building. So you then got to manually boost round, especially if they're quite close to one another. You've got to waste literally 20 seconds, or however long it might be, to then manually boost round and then re-enter manually and then come back down. Now that doesn't seem like a big deal, right? But believe me, when you're doing multi-tool hunting and you've got to add an extra minute or more onto each building, that adds up very, very, very quickly, and it ends up making what would be an hour search an hour and a half or even longer doing this on moons. So even though moons are smaller in surface area, they actually take longer to look for multi-tools. So there's 3 reasons why I avoid moons. First of all, there's less minor settlements to look in because they're very limited. You get to about 60 or 70 and then you start getting sent back to ones that you've already been in. So that's the first reason. Second reason is what I've just showed you. Well, the second reason is the pulsing side, going out and coming back down, and it is just tedious. It is a long-winded thing. And the third reason is because most of the time when you're setting off maps from the space station, it will direct you to a moon rather than just basically directing you to a planet with the minor settlement, so you can do the search on the planet and then just fly to the moon and basically reload on the moon and back and forth and so on. It will send you to the moon to do the search, like with the settlement and stuff. So basically there's 3 very good reasons there to avoid systems with moons at all costs, because they are a waste of time. It just ends up you're trying to do this as quickly as you can, and that makes it slower. And multi-tool hunting is not a short process as it is. So just try and avoid moons when you can. Right, balance, that's a tier 2. No, 2. That's got... I think that's moon free, that one. No, that's a moon, isn't it? 2 moons. Getting straight back out of this system. You know, and it might be a case that I've just missed out on a really good tool in that system. But, you know, there's thousands of other systems to visit. So, really and truly, it doesn't really make a difference. There's a moon on that one. That's a tier 1. As you can see, I'm avoiding Corvax. Don't want to go to Corvax. What have we got here? 6 planets. There we go. That's it. That's exactly what you want. 6 planets. Tier 2 or tier 3 system, and then just got to hope that this cabinet is an A class. Like I said, normally and previously I've always searched every system regardless to what the space station cabinet is, but I I'm getting a bit bored of going to every single system and looking on every single planet these days. So I will go back to that method, but right now I'm not doing that. I'm just going by the space station. Unless it's a tier 3 rich economy, then I will look on all the planets. But this one here, just quickly see if any ships are going to come in. Doesn't look like it, so I'm straight on. That was a snow speeder. It's a long nose there, is it? No, another snow speeder. It's another snow speeder. It's a shuttle. Right, on to the next one. Promising. Yeah, that's a tier 2. Looks like 4 planet. Do you know what? The one thing that I wish No Man's Sky would sort out is being able to actually look at these systems properly. Like, is there any way that I can hide that text on the right? There's not, is there? See, I want to be able to see kind of how many planets and moons are in this system. But with that box on the right there, it's a real pain in the arse, that is, because you can't see it properly. I wish they could just get rid of that so you can blank it out. Just curious, do you do anything while tool hunting, watch films or listen to music? I hunt shiny Pokemon in the Pokemon games, and I usually watch films. Yeah, basically, I never just sit here just tool hunting. I'm either listening to... I normally have the sound off, actually, in the game, and my earpods on and listen to music. I do that quite a lot. But if I'm not doing that, then I've... on my iPad, I normally put my iPad on. I've got a nice big one. And I sit and watch a series. Most of the time it's a series as opposed to a film, because I think with films you get a bit distracted, especially if it's a good film. But sometimes I'll just put like some classic films on, or a series that I've just got into, or an old series. I watch The Office quite a bit, like the US version of The Office. I love that series, my favourite series. Must have watched every episode about 10 times. But yeah, I've normally always got something on in the background. Or I've got people round, actually. Sometimes I get on and like a couple of my mates are here, and we just sort of take it in turns, really, and have a little chat and stuff. You know what? I looked at that tool there and I just completely ignored the class. Yeah, I couldn't sit here and just do this without doing something else. It'd drive me nuts. That's quite cool. Orange and grey. I don't like the dorsal fins though. I don't like these on any of the ships. That's quite a cool ship though, that. Just going to wait and see what else comes in. The Office is hilarious. Always go back on. Yeah, I love that series. I love Michael Scott. It was still quite good, actually, even when he sort of left, with like about 3 or 4 seasons left. I actually quite enjoyed the ones without him in it, but he's just great. I love that guy. And Dwight as well, he's brilliant. But one of my favourite characters in it is actually Creed. I think he's brilliant. He's such a weird beard. He's one of the strangest people on TV, that Creed. Like a proper serial killer. Oh, I think this might have a moon. You're listening to an hour-long programme on mythology or something. That's quite involved. I like all sort of stuff like that though. I've got tons of documentaries. I do like a good documentary, especially crime. But I'll tell you what I do quite a lot of now. I never used to really. It's only in the last sort of maybe 6 months or a year. I find myself on YouTube a lot now as well. Like there's a lot of kind of, because I'm a YouTube premium as well. Like I don't like adverts and that, and I use YouTube a lot. So I just pay for me and the family. Like we all get like no adverts and stuff. It's only about, I think, £18 a month. But it's brilliant. It's money well spent in my opinion. Anyway, I watch a lot of YouTube, and there's a lot of different kind of sort of feature length documentaries and stuff on YouTube now. So what you'll find is like you'll start, like one will be kind of, you know, flagged up to you. You might be interested in this. Then you'd start it, and then before you know it, you finish that, and it's got like a, you know, on the next played list to the right, there's tons more good stuff. So I find that, you know, you can knock out an hour, 2 hours on YouTube these days, no problem, on like a subject that you like. Oh, what was that? Oh, damn it, it's a barrel nose. I don't like barrel nose. I switched to premium and find myself watching so much more YouTube now. Yeah, premium all the way. I love premium. I don't pay for like, I have my own, I'm going to sound like a right snob now and a bit of a pirate, but I have my own media server. So I basically run Plex on Unraid, and I've got my own media server, which all my friends, my family, some of my work colleagues, both current and ex-work colleagues as well, they all use it. So I don't actually, I'm a bit naughty, I don't pay for any like Netflix and stuff, because I get everything off news sites and torrents and stuff like that. I've actually got more I've got more movies, and not so much, I don't think I've got more shows, but I've got more movies than Netflix now. I think I'm on about 7,000. A heck of a lot of storage. It's over 100 terabytes of data I've got in my server these days. So I'm never short of content. Like if I want anything, I can watch anything I want. I can watch anything I want anywhere on the planet for free. Like if I go away, like on holiday or business to a hotel, something like that, it doesn't matter where I am, even in China, if I wanted to go to China, which I wouldn't. Yeah, I've got all my media with me. The NPC I sold this living shit to keeps landing at my settlement. He must want a refund. Just wondering how much rarer it is to find an alien rifle vs alien compact rifle or an experimental rifle. So experimental rifles and pistols and alien pistols and rifles, they're both considered like the rarest in the game. Like they're definitely uncommon. So like this is super rare. So this tool here is an experimental, which is quite uncommon in any normal circumstance. This is a normal, an uncommon tool, as is this tool here. This is an alien rifle. Again, this is an uncommon tool, and this is an experimental pistol. which is uncommon. And this is an alien pistol, which is uncommon. But what makes things incredibly rare is having the attachments on these tools. So this tool here is an experimental, which is quite rare. Now, to find an experimental with horns or crystals or plasma tubes, in terms of odds, you've got the odds against you for finding an experimental rifle, and then you've got more odds against you of finding an experimental rifle with plasma tubes. I think you've got less than 5% chance of finding an exotic attachment on an alien or experimental tool. So to find 2 exotic attachments on one experimental rifle is literally, it's one of the rarest possible things that you can find in this game, in RNG. Like, there's plenty of really experienced, really good multi-tool hunters out there that have never ever, in all their 4, 5, 6 up to 10,000, I know people that have got more than 10,000 hours of gameplay in this game, and they still haven't found an experimental with horns and plasma tubes, or crystal and plasma tubes. They've found plenty with one or the other, but not both. This is like the rarest of rare that you can possibly find. Like this, as an example, this is the only red black diamond decal experimental rifle that's documented anywhere on any indexing site that's got both horns and plasma tubes. No one else has found a tool like this. They're very, very rare. And it's the same with aliens. There's plenty of people find these, but so that is an exotic attachment. You've got less than 5% for that. You've got a certain percentage for the horns on the top there, and then you've got another certain percentage for the crystals there, which is the same as the crystal clip, so crystals at the rear. But this here is like the equivalent of the plasma tubes or horns or crystals on experimentals. This is really rare, the lipstick crystal at the end here. And there's alien rifles that have got the dragon horns, dragon teeth at the end as well, and the one single horn on the top. Very, very rare. So the aliens are rare, but what makes them incredibly rare is what actually comes on the tools, what attachments they have. So this is like a super rare one, and especially if you find one that's in good colouring as well. It's always, you can find them like with the parts, but you find them quite often that the colours don't match, or it just doesn't look right. So to get one that actually looks quite cool, again, the odds are against you. Really, really against you on doing that. The way the RNG works in the game. Right, I'm just not having much joy tonight, I'm afraid, peeps. Just going to quickly catch up with the chat. I have videos on my channel now, but I'm just getting started, only a few videos. Yeah, it's a bit of a graft getting a channel off the ground. It takes a lot of videos. A lot of videos. And you need to market as well, like get stuff out on, you know, Reddit and places like that, Facebook. I think alien tools are the rarest, but so are, yeah, they're both as rare as each other. Champions League predictions for tomorrow. No idea. Still can't believe Arsenal lost at the weekend. Well, the MT finds the same between normal. Yeah, the mode doesn't matter at all. You'll find exactly the same stuff, and the same with systems and galaxies. The galaxies make no difference. I mean, I personally just don't really see any point in even leaving Euclid, to be honest. I do like Isentam though. I found a lot of good things in Isentam, and it's got a lot of lush planets, which is nice. But I only ever, for years now, I only ever jump between Euclid and Isentam. They're the only two galaxies that you'll ever see any of my stuff posted in. I never post in any other galaxies apart from those two. Are the MT finds the same between? Yeah, done that. Too bad there's no spray paint for the guns. Yeah, that makes it a bit more interesting though, not having customization, I suppose. It's a bit more rewarding. Like you feel like when you find something that's quite rare, quite nice looking, you know, for the odds of that all coming in your favour, for you to kind of get it and see it is quite an achievement, right? I mean, I know it's luck, but you make your own luck in this game. It's a numbers game. So the more the more systems you visit, the more planets you'll see, the more systems you'll see, the more fauna you'll see, the more ships you'll see, the more tools you'll see. So if you're somebody that just, you know, every 2 months you hop between 2 or 3 systems, you're never ever going to find anything good. Like, you've got to be one of these people. If you're on the hunt, if you're a ship hunter or fauna hunter, multi-tool hunter, whatever it is in this game, you've got to play the numbers. This game is a complete numbers game. Like, if you go to my milestones, where are we? So just on this save alone, I've done 1,619 warps. So I've been to 1,619 different systems just on this one save, and I've got 8 saves on this PC platform, and that's just one. So you've got to play the numbers. If that was just 50 or 100, I would have found, you know, a hundredth less of the amount of things that I've found to date on this save, because you've got to play the numbers, because the game's that big. So normally, I mean, I'm taking my time a bit today. Oh, that was an alpha vector there, I think. But normally I don't mess around. Like, I'm in and out of a system in no time at all. Like, I don't mess around. I'm in, out, do what I've got to do, and I'm on to the next one straight away. Oh no, it was a barrel nose. Right, actually, I forgot what the bloody tool is now. What class was it? Let's see. Right, it's a tier 3 this, so I'm going to look on every planet in this one, even though there's a moon. I think I need some more charts. That should be enough. I actually use controller for the, even though I play PC, I use a controller for this game. I don't know why, I just prefer it. Right, let's go and see where we're at. There's a moon in this system. There's 2 moons. That's 2 in a row though. It hasn't taken me to a moon. Has to happen when I'm on a stream as well, doesn't it? I've always played on a controller on PC, just more relaxing. Yeah, it is, definitely. And I'm hoping my Steam Deck's going to come this month. I think I've been promised. I'm in the Q3 lot of people, so I should be getting it by the end of the month. And once I get it on that, I'll probably be on that quite a lot of the time, I think, as well. Because then I can sit downstairs and just chill out and stuff, like the football on or something in the background, doing whatever. So that's the same C-class tool, that one. So we've only seen one so far. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Steam Deck. It's the first sort of bit of hardware I've been quite intrigued about over the last few years. It'd be nice if more games had controller support. I don't know. There is quite a lot of games on Steam that do have good controller support. What's the C class? I need some more nav data. There we go. Yeah, so in tier 3 you can get up to 180 something nav data. So that's like plenty of maps. Not all of the terminals will sell it, but if you do see it, just buy it, and then you've got like a load of maps here now, so I haven't got to worry about maps for a while. And if I did run low off stream, I'd just save edit a load in. I wouldn't bother kind of doing that. Yeah, I've not heard any bad things about its performance on the Steam Deck, because it's at lower settings as well, isn't it? So it shouldn't have, hopefully, many issues. I must admit though, it's a 720 screen, isn't it? I would have preferred it if it was like a 1080 OLED or something like that. That's my only gripe with it, looking at the specs, but there we go. I'm going to trust that as the natural. So we'll reload here. Hardly surprising the Steam Deck has God performance, since it runs Arch Linux, which can be highly optimized. Yeah. Good performance, yeah. Yeah, it does, and you can install Windows on there. You can install pretty much anything you want. I think, like certainly for me, because I'm not a massive techie, I need to sort of follow guides. But to be honest, I'm not really interested in all that. I just want to play some games on it. Do you know what I mean? You get a lot of like techie nerds and stuff that will kind of tinker and mess around with that sort of stuff. But for me, I just want to plug and play and just run with it. I'm not interested in it. I'll probably buy another bit of storage, like a micro SD. Try and get one on the cheap if I can, because I've got a shitload of games. I've got tons. But I've seen a few videos saying that there's already speculation of like a Steam Deck 2 coming out in the next couple of years, so that'll be interesting. I put my order in for one back in February of this year, so that was like, what are we now, August, February, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months I've been waiting for mine. Still not got it. But it's been one of those evenings tonight. I mean, I've been a bit slow, to be honest, like just explain a few things, but we've had absolutely no luck at all with any tools tonight whatsoever. Am I thinking of continuing? Yeah, I will be. Yeah, definitely. I'm either going to do that tomorrow night or Wednesday. It's annoying because I've actually tried through Streamlabs to schedule some streams, like, so I can put them in like with a day's notice, and then at least it gives people, like, if they want to watch it they can, if they don't they don't, right? Rather than just loading up live without any notice and just, you know, people might catch me, they might not, sort of thing. The trouble is, I'm using Streamlabs. I'm not that great with it because I don't really stream a lot. And every time I've gone to put a scheduled stream in, it doesn't go live on YouTube, even though it says that there's a stream up and coming. And I don't know what the ins and outs of that are. Yeah, so that's annoying because I want to be able to give people a heads up as to when I'm going live. But it won't. And I tried Googling it actually before I did this one tonight, and I couldn't really find an answer as to why it's happening. I need someone to just sort of run it through with me, really, because I'm not a techie. I don't work in IT or anything like that. Yeah, you should be, and I can. It does schedule it. It puts in the schedule. I see it actually on my live tab on YouTube as an upcoming stream, but then like it will get to say 7 o'clock when it's due to hit, and it just stays as upcoming stream, and it doesn't go live for some reason. It's really weird. I've got no idea why it does it. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to click anything else on Streamlabs, like, you know, actually like click something to make it go live when it's supposed to go live. I've got no idea what I'm doing wrong. The trouble is none of my mates are really sort of techie like me, really, so I can't ask them for help. And none of them really play the game. They're more into like FIFA and stuff like that. But yes, I like Subnautica, so I'm definitely gonna go all the way with that. I'm gonna do a full series on that. I've just finished part 3, and I reckon it will be at least like a 15-part series probably, because it's quite a lengthy game, that. And I haven't played it for years, so like me going back to it now, it was one of my favourite games when it came out, or like came out of early access. But because I haven't played it for quite a while, it's all sort of fresh for me at the moment. Like, I don't remember a lot of it and stuff, which is quite good. You have to go live on Streamlabs. You can start it early and put a short video for intro until you're ready. Are there any interesting variants of the experimental pistol with missing panel halfway on the shell? Yeah, so with regards to Streamlabs, I've just got to do a lot of research on that, I think. Just getting time, really. I don't even know how to create your own sort of custom intro and stuff. That's what I mean. Like, I'm not sort of tech savvy. I'll be able to do it. I just need to read up on it and watch some YouTube videos and stuff. But it's something that I'm not really interested in. So you've got to sort of force yourself to do that sort of stuff. And I'm not really in YouTube and that to make money. So yeah. So are there any interesting variants of the experimental pistol with missing panel halfway on the shell? Missing panel. What do you mean by missing panel? This thing. So as far as I know, I used it last year for our daily garden streams. So as far as I know, with experimental pistols, basically they normally come with, without obviously the exotic attachment here and here. They always have the tube here. They always have this side bit here. And they always have either a pointy or more curved, shorter rear here. This is the same, this is the same, and the front is the same. The only other difference is sometimes they have wires. Like, you might get a wire going all the way along here, like a black wire from this point here all the way over to this point here. Or you might get raised wires here. Actually, when you look at, just on this, you might not have noticed this before. But when you, on the experimental rifles, can you see that is the pistol? So the back end of the experimental rifles are the pistol. And all that happens is on the rifles, they just stick this end bit on the end. So if you take this barrel off, see how that there is now the pistol? Can you see that? So if you just picture that right there for a second, see the features there, and picture it with the black nozzle on the end there, and then you look at this one here, and that, if that now had the barrel there, that is the experimental rifle, if it had the barrel there. So all these is the back end of the rifles, and they're all the same. But just the same as the rifles, these attachments can change. But everything else basically stays the same apart from this bit here, the lip. This can be a bit longer or a bit shorter. And that's about it, really. Yeah. Yeah, the mining pistol, the standard starting pistol is different. That has like an attachment on the side as well as not having one, and I think it even has the ammo count on that. I'm not sure, But yeah, the starter pistol has a couple of different attachments as well, but I don't like them. I'm not personally that keen on the starting pistol, but they are the best thing for mining. If you get a starter pistol as an S-Class, upgrade it to an S-Class, and then max out the mining modules, like S-Class mining upgrades and all the different mining beams and stuff, the pistols are actually the best thing in the game for mining. Like, you'll get more yield from mining than you will on anything else, as far as I know. But everything else, they're crap. What have we got? 2 more planets, I think. 3. 2 more after this one. God, this has been a slow one. I use a small alien tool for terrain manipulator and mining. Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, that they're all very similar. Like, naturally, aliens give more damage. Mining pistols are better for mining, and experimentals are better for scanning. But they're all very, very similar. And the thing is aliens give the most damage, but you could get an alien rifle that's got quite low natural base stats, like hidden base stats, and you could get an experimental with really high base damage stats, like in their range. So you could actually still end up with a experimental that gives a better overall damage output once it's fully upgraded than maybe some aliens. And like vice versa, you might get an alien rifle that has really good at their best higher end scanning range or mining capability, but you might get an experimental at the really low end of what they can possibly do with scanning and mining that isn't as good as one of the aliens. So it really depends. I mean, like without exception, every person that I know that plays this game, that no one cares about stats. We all play the game to explore, but we play the game for hunting. We only care about what things look like in this game. Couldn't care less about stats, because the game it's just really not that relevant in this game, because it's all easy, and the damage and everything doesn't scale well in this game, and everything really. So I think the only time where stats become maybe more relevant than anything else is when you're one of these people that wants to try and get like really far on your light year jumps, like jumping between systems. In that case, you want to always try and get 181 light year range on like your freighters or your ships, whatever it is, because there is, that could be the difference between several hundred light years if you're into all that. But outside of that, I mean, they're pretty negligible, really, in my opinion. Anyway, I just don't see the relevance of them. I'm just an alien, bro. But like, you even with a C-class multi-tool, with a fully upgraded scatter blaster, you can pretty much 2 or 3 shot anything in this game. Like, it doesn't matter what multi-tool you've got, a crap one, an experimental, alien, whatever it is. There isn't really anything in this game apart from walkers that take more than 2 or 3 shots to kill. Even a C-class pistol with a scatter blaster can do that, right? So it doesn't really, the stats are really not that relevant. That is one thing I would love to see, like space boss battles or something, make the gear stats better. But again, exploration is the key of this game. Yeah, it would be nice to have a bit more combat, I think, and stuff. Definitely, I'll be all over that. Anything like that, I'm game. Spice it up a bit. I'm not into like all the PvP and stuff though. That's not for me. If I want to do that, I'll go and play like Warzone or something like that. You know, I won't. It's not the sort of game, and it's crap anyway. I mean, the combat in this game is terrible. I don't know why anyone would even want to do it. One more. Combat on foot is pretty. Yeah, I mean they've improved the ship combat definitely, but yeah, the combat on foot is terrible. It always has been a real chore. It's boring. It's just clunky. It's like an afterthought in this game, isn't it? It's not something that you even worry about. Which they could change if they wanted to, but I think if they change that, the whole game would need an overhaul. Like absolutely everything would need to change. That's like a big update, sorting out the combat. And I don't know. I mean, we might get something in the. I would have thought we would have had the summer update by now. But that doesn't appear like it's coming out soon, from what I can see. I don't know. I don't know if there's been any more leaks on it. I do wonder whether kind of the game's getting towards its sort of end of life now, really, like its shelf life. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully they'll keep continuing with updates and stuff like they've always done, but I do think that we're 6 years now, aren't we? It's quite a long time. Like if Hello Games came out and said, right, we're going to start scaling down our updates from, like, you know, 6 a year or whatever it is, to kind of just 1 or 2, like, I wouldn't be surprised, sort of thing. You know, we're at that point of the game now where if they did make an announcement like that, or even said worst case scenario, look, that's it, we're done, it wouldn't be a shock, I don't think. But I can't see them doing that because it's still relatively popular. I mean, it does look like the player numbers are starting to come down a bit. Like, definitely on PC, the number of PC players, it does seem like every month now, the numbers that you can look at, it does look like they're slowly coming down. But one big update can change that, you know, and bring everyone back again. I don't think so. At this point in the development of the game, do you think it should have significant fundamental changes to gameplay or mechanics? I think if it was going to have a really, really big, significant change, or a big overhaul like Origins, I think we would have seen that in the last couple of years. Certainly this year. I think maybe a complete reset is needed, but at the same time, I can't see them doing that. The last time they did that, it didn't go down too well. There was a lot of problems and stuff as well. So I don't know as if they'd ever do a reset again. But I do think that they need to do something, because you know, even like, I think if excluding Beeblebum, who still puts out quite regular videos, and Zoo, I think a lot of the other content creators are slowly easing off a bit on No Man's Sky with and sort of doing other games in conjunction with No Man's Sky now. Or they're just not putting out as many regular videos of it like they used to. I mean, Craze doesn't even cover No Man's Sky now unless there's an update. But, you know, he's got quite big. But yeah, it's it just needs to keep getting updates. But I've said this plenty of times, and I've had a lot of hate for it and stuff, because it is a little bit whingy, but I do think that the game overall lacks a bit of depth. I think it's quite shallow. Like, they could do a lot more with this game, and they've got the money to do it. There's no excuse. They've got the money. They could get the staff with the money, and they could add a lot more in-depth stuff to this game. But for one reason or another, they don't. Don't ask me why. I've got no idea. There's another moon. Let's just see if it will, if I set these maps off, if it will go to that moon. Third time lucky. I played WoW back when I was younger. I kind of felt like this game could have been something similar in player interactions, but it is limited on what's going on. I never got into WoW, actually. That's one game, and a really popular game, that I've never played. I've never played a minute of that game. I don't know why. I think there might have just been other things that I was into, but never got into that game. I'd be curious if there would be a push to make a sequel. The engine is quite old, but I think the player base would return. Yeah, I think it would. Definitely. I mean, I've played their other game, Last Campfire. It's not really my sort of game. It's quite kiddified. It's like a platforming puzzle type of game. It's not really my thing. Just wasted time finding S-class cabinets for the 2 to be another class on reload. You might be in a Corvax system there, mate. It's that glitch, isn't it? White experimental with yellow fade decal. I love that decal. That's my favourite. Yeah, I mean, don't be too down about finding neon tubes bag of holding, because literally they are rare. like I've only ever found myself about 7 or 8 rifles with tubes, and about the same for pistols, and that's in like thousands of hours. So yeah, don't get disheartened if you don't find a rifle with plasma tubes. Some people won't find any in their entire time on this game. Takes a lot of work and dedication. That. Hello, I'm coming home from a training. I hope you will hunt a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm going to go for a little bit longer. I'll probably go until about maybe 9:30 or 10 o'clock UK time. So maybe another 45 minutes from now. Yes, I am. Thanks for the tip. I'm hunting down explorers, so I'm at Corvax systems now. Yeah, so as I mentioned towards the start of the stream, Corvax systems can be quite annoying because there is a glitch that causes the tools to basically glitch out and C-class tools to appear in S-class cabinets. It seems like it is limited to just Corvax systems. So you'll never get it. I mean, I used to, before the Frontiers update, visit Corvax systems, but I won't visit any Corvax systems now. I don't like explorers, so I've got no reason to go there anyway. So yeah, I'll just avoid Corvax systems now completely, as well as black market systems, because black market systems are just a complete and utter waste of time for hunting multi-tools. Just avoid them at all costs. They're great for ships, great for particularly white ships, good for solar ships, but for multi-tools, terrible. Really, really bad. It's taking quite a long time to load in. It's not good. Yeah, I'd like to see a hardcore mode that makes the game genuinely difficult. That is the best thing. Like, for me personally, I've mentioned it on a few of the videos that I've done and stuff. That's something I've wanted for a long time. Like like not permadeath. Like, forget that crap about dying and then that's it. I'm not interested in that, especially in this game where, you know, you can get a glitch and basically die and it's not your fault. Like, I couldn't care less about that. But just overall, just a much more brutal, grindy, difficult version would be great. I'd love that. I'd be all over that. Like, even like for me, like when I start a new game, I still always find that the first hour of this game is the best part of the entire game. That sounds really stupid, But when you've got nothing and you're kind of, you have to go out and you've got to go and get this and go and get that and repair your ship and do this. I love all that. So when I start a new game, if I want to start a proper new game and not use save editor and stuff, the first hour or the first 2 hours of gameplay for me, it's the most fun, especially on survival and permanent. It's the most fun, most interesting part of the entire game. It really is. I love it. It's never a chore starting a new game for me, but I want more of that. Like it would be great if they could start you on a planet, but your ship was like 10,000 U away, right? And it was a planet with really limited resources, and it gave you the option that you could actually start with like the terrain manipulator, so that you're forced to kind of, when storms come, you've got to dig you've got to dig underground, you've got to go in a cave, and a real grind to try and get to your ship. I'd love all that. I mean, for a lot of people, they'd be like, fuck that, I don't want to grind and I haven't got time. I have, right? And there's a lot of people out there that quite enjoy this game or did enjoy the game back in the day when it really was a bit more of a survival game. And it was a lot more grindy, like a heck of a lot more grindy. That was great. We loved that. Bring it back. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'd love to see something like that. But these days it's so easy. Like when we had to like for instance flying the ship, when we used to fly the ships, the only way that you could take off of any planet is if you had a full tank of fuel. So there was none of this kind of using a bit of your fuel and you're all right, you've got another 2 or 3 kind of lift-offs before you're in trouble. Like, you had to have a full tank of fuel at all times to basically just get off the ground. I mean, even that, it doesn't sound much, but it's bloody grindy. Like, you got to have all the resources on you at all times and stuff like that. It was much more difficult, but I liked that side of it. I really did. I racked up loads of hours in those days, and this was kind of, I completed permadeath before you could use like portals and stuff, and I hadn't even discovered the full use of black holes at this point. So I actually manually warped from the starting point in Euclid to the centre of the galaxy using just warp drives on permadeath. So I got the permadeath achievement. It took me about well over 40 or 50 hours, probably even more than that, and I manually warped all the way from the start to the centre of Euclid in permadeath, because back then you couldn't go and visit bases and do this and do that. It was quite tough. I had the same thing. I found 2 experimentals, an S cabinet rather quick, and when I checked again I couldn't find the experimentals. It's odd possible that they were natural A class. Yeah, but if they were natural A class, they would be S. Only if they were sort of natural Bs, they probably wouldn't have appeared in the S cabinet. There is a chance that there could be 2 native A classes in the same system. If that's the case, I don't know how it does it, but the system will just it will automatically pick one of those 2 A class tools to spawn into the S cabinet. So that's just really unlucky if that's the case. It doesn't. I mean, I very rarely see sort of 2 native A classes in a system. But yeah, if you do get that, that's just really bad luck. Or if things like the no ship challenge could be built into the game. Yeah, stuff like that. Love all that. When you had to find ship inventory upgrades by searching on the planet. Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember it being an incredible grind. I wasn't a day one player. I got it about a week after, 2 weeks after, and I played it for a little bit and kind of put it down, and then came back to it about maybe 3 or 4 months afterwards. And just, yeah, I fell in love with it back then. We didn't even have the terrain manipulator back then as well. Throttle jockey, sup dude? Yeah, good mate. I hope all is good with you, and you've enjoyed whatever you've been doing tonight or today. Probably working. They should do that and then reward you with the Radiant for getting your first ship. Yeah. A terrain manipulator, yeah, that would have been before me. I got it. I started playing Subnautica just before it came out of early access, so probably about maybe 3 years ago ish, or maybe a bit longer than that. And I played Subnautica Below Zero about a year ago. I got that quite soon after it came out, and I thought that was quite good, but I thought it looked better, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the original. It looked better, and there was a few like nice polished things. The one thing I didn't like about it was actually the travel. I was really disappointed that they took away the Cyclops. I didn't like that new whatever it's called, the new sort of modular submarine. I want to give Planet Crafter a go as well. That looks quite good. I noticed a few of the No Man's Sky peeps had already played it. I think after Subnautica I might do a rerun of Alien Isolation, which isn't going to be for everybody because it's like a survival horror. It's a great game. Again, it's another one of my favourites. You've only played No Man's Sky for about 11 months, so it's all still quite I guess interesting for you really. You're probably still finding new stuff and doing new things and whatnot. I've rinsed this game. I've got thousands of hours in this game. I must admit though, I'm getting a bit I'm starting to get a bit bored tonight of the hunt, so I'm not going to be going for too much longer. I do this, I get to a point where I start hitting a bit of a brick wall and then I just need to take a break. Whereas back in the day I'd go for like 4 hours straight, like just constant. What I might do just very quickly is, once I've jumped to the next system, is just see what other tools I'm currently in the process of hunting down at the moment. If there is any. I know there's one. I'm not sure about if there's any others. I'll have to have a look. Been looking for other games to fill my time. What sort of games do you like, Chronic? Used to play a lot of PvP, but I like open world. Yeah, I love open world. Open world is anything really open world, like whether it's a horror or a FPS, like first person game. I love open world stuff. Assassin's Creed, I love them. Far Cry. I'm not really big on like MMOs, like really big multiplayer games, with the exception being Warzone. I don't play that really much anymore, but I used to play that quite a bit. I got right into that game. I quite enjoyed it. Me and my brothers used to play that. We used to have a real good laugh on that game, because one of them lives in America and it was good to get on with him as well. Century Age of Ashes is pretty fun. Battle Royale, you fly dragons. Yeah, my brother keeps nagging me to get into another game. What is it? It's 100 Ways to Die, I think, or something similar to that. No, Dead by Daylight, is it? Dead by Night? I can't remember. There's a game that's been out for quite a while that he's been playing quite a lot of. Keeps nagging me to play it, but I just haven't bothered really yet. Dead by Daylight, I think it's called. A multiplayer game. But he reckons it's really good. It's good fun. Yeah, that's it. Dead by Daylight. Yeah, yeah. He said he's been enjoying it for the last few months. He's been playing with one of his mates on it. He's a bit younger than me. But I haven't even watched any gameplay footage of it. I've got no idea what it is. He was just messaging me saying if you want something different, come and sort of join up with us. But the trouble is he plays on Xbox, and so does his mate. And because I'm on PC and I don't have any consoles, I don't know if it's got crossplay or not. Or what the chat's going to be like, you know. On 3-star systems, I usually search several A cabinets. I like to do it this way because you can search on 2 planets at once and you don't return to the same planet again and again. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I wanted to buy Armour Reforger, but it only has like 3 years of support. It's basically the testing ground for Armour 4. I played Armour before. That wasn't too bad, but I actually played more DayZ than I did of Armour. That was like the mod for Armour 3, I think, or Armour 2. I can't remember. It's quite popular back in the day, that game. Good fun. I was playing that when there used to be a YouTuber called Frankie on PC in 1080p, and he used to do some really good videos on that DayZ, and he sort of got me into that game. That was quite good fun, that. But it just died really. Like lots of other stuff came out and people just left it, and then I think they brought out an official version of it as well, didn't they? Which Steam achievement hunt have you enjoyed the most? Out of all the games that I've played, that's quite a tough one. Out of my entire library, I probably enjoyed The Witcher 3. I didn't feel like it was a grind. But in this game, probably the permadeath achievement, I'd say, which was a grind, but I really enjoyed that. It took me a long time. Like it was about at least 2 or 3 weeks of playing it pretty much every night after work, and yeah, that took me a long time to get that. There's a stubby. Which Steam achieved done that one? Does every planet in the system have minor settlements on it? No, they don't. So there's 2 instances. Well, this is actually quite a rare tool, this, because it's got 6 horns. It's got 2 on the sides. It's got 2 on the top, and it's got 2 on the side there, with like these eyes at the front. Looks like a smiley face at the front, doesn't it? Eyes, nose and mouth. With some horns, like a goofy looking thing. That's quite rare, that. But yeah, there's two types of planets or moons, because it's the same for moons, that don't have minor settlements. So first of all, any airless planets or moons, they're sometimes called airless, sometimes called low atmosphere. It's the ones that you go on and you can basically jump up and down with less gravity. They don't have any minor settlements, so you can't look for tools on those planets, but they still have a multi-tool pool. So even though you can't look for a tool on the planet because it doesn't have any settlements, it will still spawn its own set of 4 different multi-tools. So what you can do is you can reload on a low atmosphere planet or moon. Reloading on that moon or planet will spawn that planet or moon's multi-tool pool into the system-wide pool, and then what you do is you just search on a different planet, because the moon, the low atmosphere's tools will be on the planet that you're now on. As long as you've reloaded on that low atmosphere planet, that celestial body's multi-tool pool will now be in every multi-tool cabinet in the system, and it's this, that works for every planet in the system. So that's the first one. Low atmosphere planets, like the low gravity planets, they don't have settlements. The second type is the one that has the living ship fauna, living ship flora. So I think they're called like infested planets. They sometimes do have minor settlements, but not always. So the infested planets, they have minor settlements, but those minor settlements can also be abandoned buildings. And what you'll find is not all of the minor settlements on infested planets will have multi-tool cabinets. So even though the settlement is there, they won't necessarily always have cabinets. So the general rule is to just avoid minor settlements on infested planets, and you definitely can't find any minor settlements on low atmosphere planets. So they're the 2 types where the rules don't apply. Oh yes, another nice one. I know someone who's going to want this straight away because they love green and white ships. So little fellow admin on the coordinate exchange on the index. Yeah, just bear with us because I've just got to get a couple of pictures of this one. For example, you land on a dead planet, load the save, and you fly to another planet and search the A cabinet. It is 28%. Then you find it, you see the tool from the dead planet. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, if to spawn the dead planet's tools, you'll need to reload on the dead planet and then go and find the tools that planet spawns on a different planet. Yeah, that's right. Funny how no atmosphere implies low gravity. Yeah, in No Man's Sky. It really doesn't follow any known laws of physics, does it? Yeah, exactly. 10 reload and see the second tool. The other thing with low atmosphere planets as well is it's not like an absolute given, but if you're going to go anywhere in the system to see a ship's true colours, the place to do it is, like, to get the best pictures is in a low atmosphere planet, because it tends to be like they don't often, they do sometimes have filters, but they don't often have filters and are not often affected by the system lighting. So regardless to what the system lighting is, whether it's like purple, yellow, whatever, the low atmosphere planets tend to give like a true reflection of the ship's colours. I'm not sure how much weight that has these days, but it certainly always has been the case. I had that bot that finds ships and tools give me glyphs to an abandoned system, so I searched for a tool that wasn't there. Yeah, that's odd. That bot is like a bit of a taboo topic though, so I don't really want to talk about that on the stream, because it's a game-breaking tool, that, so I won't get on to talking about that, because A, it's frustrating, and B, it's not good for this game. And the other thing is that the creator of that Magistral only cares about making money on that, and doesn't care about the community and the players at all. We've called them out on it, and we've had plenty of discussions with them about this, and they just come across as a little bit kind of not great. Well, I found some better ships than I have bloody multi-tools tonight. This has been a little bit of a disappointment. It's another, but you see what one thing that you'll notice, you know, right at the start of this stream I said that the RNG has its patterns and stuff, and you'll probably have noticed that a lot of the tools that spawn in these cabinets do follow a pattern. Like, the tool before this one was this tool but with horns, but I'll go to another system and another one and another one and another one, and I might not see this tool variant for several systems, but I might see one more of this appear in another reload, like several in one system. So yeah, it's quite consistent in how it all pans out, in terms of, like, it's not necessarily rules and stuff, but it's definitely patterns that it follows. Alpha vectors, yeah, I love them ships. That's the best thing that has ever come from the expeditions, I think, is the golden vector, in my opinion. Everything else in those expeditions has been shocking. Apart from, in saying that, the jetpacks have been quite good. This is just a standard one, I think. I'm wearing a cape, but yeah, the jetpacks have been pretty decent as well. So this is a low atmosphere planet. So on this planet there won't be any multi-tool settlements, like no minor settlements. But you can still reload a save on this planet or moon, because this planet or moon still has 4 different multi-tools in different classes that will spawn. As you'll see, look how bright that ship colour is now, and my suit colour. Yeah. Because on these low atmosphere planets or moons, you get the true colour of the ship. Just like if you look at the ship on this side here, specifically always on this side, you get the true colours of the ship. So you'll see it's a slight off-white and a full white here, but this side is off. That's not the true colour. You see the two-tone, but that's not the true colour. The true colour is always this side of the ship. And what you'll find is on low atmosphere planets, you'll see this there, just like that. So you can really see subtle differences that you wouldn't see in space. Like you can clearly see the decal there, like the white decal on like the slightly off-white. But in space, you'll struggle to see that. Anyway, that's just an example. So if you remember, the tool that spawned into this cabinet previously was the same tool that we started with. It was that pistol, but I've just reloaded on a dead planet, a low atmosphere planet, and you'll see now the tool will be different. It's a rifle, see how that's changed. So that is the A class of that dead planet's multi-tool pool. There's a purple Diplo and a small, a cool small raster type here too. Coolest system I've found so far. It sounds good. I think they use pearly noise to create the randomness. It is a smooth way to create. Yeah, the stuff that you're typing, Hikamiro, is not really making too much sense, if I'm honest. Beautiful planet, threatening sentinels. 3D the Destroyer. Good evening, Jules. How the devil are you? So anyone in chat that doesn't know, I'm quite active in the No Man's Sky Interstellar Index on Facebook. It's a big indexing Facebook group for No Man's Sky. It's where I post the vast majority of my finds, and all of my finds get posted on there, but not all of my finds get posted on the No Man's Sky coordinate exchange. So the Interstellar Index is a group that now is up to nearly 20,000 members, and it's still growing quite rapidly, getting bigger by the day. Well, this guy here in the chat, 3D the Destroyer, also known as Rusty Starhopper, he is the founder of that group. He is the lead admin, the founder of the group, and that's his baby. So if you want to know anything about indexing ships, or you want to be part of the indexing community, Rusty is your man there. So welcome to the stream. I've been in contact with Rusty for quite a good 2 or 3 years now. This Chad had liked this ship here, like Rusty. He'd like this. He likes his green, doesn't he? Or is that Tim? It's a nice green and white long nose there. 7 mecha wing as well. It's quite a cool ship, that. All's good in the UK, my friend. Yeah, all's good. Perlin nose is standard in GFX program. It makes sense to me. Yeah, I'm not a techie, so that makes no. That's like talking Chinese to me. Printing up some 16-sided glyphs dice today. Pics in the index admin chat. I'll have to pop into that chat and have a look, Jules. I must admit, I haven't been into the chat for a few days. See what's going on. The index ostentatious is a solid indexicon. Cheers, mate. The index would not be what it is without you, Austin. I appreciate you, bro. Nah, cheers, mate. It's loads of us contributing there. We've got a good solid community in there now. It's good. All the best ship hunters, anyway. Yeah, just doing a bit of a live stream tonight. Trying trying to find a multi-tool, but I started this stream at about, I don't know, I've been going for a good 2 hours and I've found nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's a team effort and I'm proud to be on your team, Austin. Yeah, same, mate. The other thing with the index as well is it's got some exceptional No Man's Sky base builders on there as well. Like it's got Banjo and Teabags. They're two people that, I mean, literally the Banjo glitch in glitch building was named after him because he discovered it. Like it's got some serious, I'm not a builder, right, but it's got some seriously talented builders in the index. So if you're into your base building as well, then definitely join, because you'll see a lot of posts on people's bases getting done. There's a lot of community events as well, like every pretty much 4 to 6 weeks there's a major event going on over on the index, and it's all about base building. So if you're into your base building, get over there, because you'll love it, and you'll make a lot of friends as well, because it's a really popular event. It's always a theme as well. Like we've had, I think we've got a Halloween theme coming up. We've had recently a tree house theme. We've got sort of frozen worlds coming up, and all sorts of stuff that we've had. And for the people that don't like Facebook, which is a lot of people these days, they have a mirrored site as well, which runs on the MeWe platform. So the index is also on MeWe. We're on Discord as well. Whiskey Barrel, good evening. Hope all is good with you, mate. I'm sort of nearing the end of this stream now, so you kind of caught me at the end. But to be fair, I haven't found anything tonight, so you haven't missed much. I found a couple of nice ships, but not much else. And thanks for the donation the other day, mate. That's very much appreciated. No problem. Nerazi is doing a great job with the index. Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, Nerazi Gaming. She does a heck of a lot for the No Man's Sky community. She's really good. She's a great builder. She's a great ship hunter. She's really good with like graphics and getting everything done. She's done a lot. She's been a really good contributor to the index. Especially considering she hasn't really been playing the game that long, has she? I think she's only been into the game for about a year. Can I send the Discord link? Well, I'm not a techie and I'm on an iPad, which this iPad doesn't have Discord. So what I'll do is, actually anyone can do it. Jules, if you know how to link in the Discord link to the chat, like link it in the chat. I've got no restrictions on the chat. So you should be able to link something in there if you can. But if not, I'll just put it into the comments once this video gets uploaded to YouTube. I'll just put it in the comment section and you can have a look at it there. People need to know how much time you put in to help them get S-Class tools. Yeah, it's a lot of time. Not as much these days, I will say. I'm not. I have been quite active in the last 2 weeks, but I do have more frequent breaks these days from the game, definitely. Austin and the Rosie are outstanding admins. Cheers, mate. Discord link coming up. Yes, spot on. If you can whack that in there, then people can go and take a look. Yeah, cheers, Jules. God, this takes a long time to load in. I've got this game running on an M.2 Western Digital Black SN850, which is one of the faster ones that you can get, and it's still taking quite a long time to load. Would be fun to do a joint MT hunting stream sometime. Yeah. The only issue with doing multiplayer when it comes to hunting tools is you've got to reload a save on every planet, so you'll be constantly kicking one another out of the stream, if that makes sense. So that's the only downside to that. Doing a joined stream purely on hunting is probably not practical, but there might be ways around it. I don't know. Yeah, take care. Cheers for joining, Whiskey. Much appreciated. No, I don't. Multi-tool hunting in outlaw systems is a complete waste of time. I did explain it, I think, before you joined the stream, Hikamiro, but I'll explain it again just briefly. So in normal systems, we all know that there's certain rules that you follow to look for S-class multi-tools, like tools can only spawn one above or one below their native class and stuff like that. We all know that. But in black market systems, the rules do not apply. So the first of all, you'll find an incredible amount of C-class multi-tools. It can take a long time to find an S-class cabinet, but with all of that to one side, regardless of any of that, where the rules don't apply in black market systems, it's a waste of time trying to look for a multi-tool, because C-class multi-tools can spawn into S-class cabinets, right? And A-class multi-tools, even native A-class multi-tools, can spawn into C-class cabinets and won't always spawn into S-class cabinets. That's not a guarantee. So because of the fact that C-class tools can spawn into S-class cabinets, and A-class tools are not necessarily a guarantee to spawn in S-class cabinets, the only possible way in Outlaw systems that you can find S-class multi-tools is to find the S-class cabinet first before you do anything. Right? Because you could start a hunt. Like if you got to the space station cabinet, you could start a hunt because you've seen a really nice tool spawn as an A-class and spawn as an A-class 2 or 3 times. You could see a really nice tool on the planet spawn as an A-class, and you might think that is going to be the guarantee spawn into the S cabinet, but it isn't. So what you need to do is in black market systems, you actually need to find the S-class cabinet before you do anything. Because what you don't want to do is spend 2 hours looking for what you think is going to be a tool which potentially spawns into that S-class cabinet, and then it doesn't, right? And it's just a load of C-class tools that spawn into that cabinet. The trouble is if you look for the S-class cabinet first, that can take a long time, especially in black market systems. So what you end up doing is you'll end up spending all of your time finding the S-class cabinet, only to find that rubbish tools like a load of system tools spawn into that cabinet. So really and truly, the only exception to multi-tool hunting in black market systems is if you spawn into the system and the space station cabinet is an S-class cabinet, then it's definitely worth going down to every planet, reloading and seeing what they spawn into the S cabinet on the space station. But if the space station cabinet is not an S-class, don't waste your time, because the rules do not apply in black market systems at all. So yeah, it's just absolutely pointless. And not only that as well, they, like the ships as well, they don't have the correct slot count and stuff like that. It's all like a little bit askew. So yeah, black market systems are obviously really good for solar ships. They're good for white ships because there seems to be a lot more white ships spawning in black market systems. And they're good for just normal ships, but forget it for multi-tools, just a complete waste of time. Yeah, no worries. That's alright. It just saves you wasting time in them. But you've got a 5% chance of seeing everything as an S-class in black market. So you've got a much higher chance of actually seeing more space station S-class cabinets appearing than what you will in normal systems. But yeah, unless the space station cabinet is an S-class cabinet, if it's anything but an S-class, just ignore it and just don't bother. Right, that's a C-class. What are we in a tier 2? I'm just going to quickly check my other saves out very briefly and see if there's any tools to show before I end the stream. So let's just have a look. So let's have a look at this one. See if I can't remember if I'm in the middle of any hunts or not, to be honest. I think I'm going through a bit of a dry spell at the moment. No, it's not. Al Ross has put, in regular systems, is it possible that a planet's multi-tool pool might only have all C-class MTs? No, it's not possible. Every single planet has a guaranteed native A-class. So it might have a C and a B, or a C or a B, but it will definitely have at least one native A-class, because only an A-class tool can spawn into an S-class cabinet. So if every single system has a minimum of every single planet or moon has a minimum of 2 multi-tools in their pool and a maximum of 4. And there's a maximum of 21 different multi-tools in each system, including the space station. So if every system has a minimum of if every planet has a minimum of 2 multi-tools, one of those 2 multi-tools will definitely be an A-class, because only A-class can jump up one to an S-class, a C or B can't. And that is a rule. That definitely has been tested many times by many people, and that is a thing. If both of those tools were B or C class tools, they could never spawn into the S class cabinet. It would break the system, it would break the rules. That's not how it works. So in normal systems, one of those 2 tools will be an A class, but there can be up to 4 different tools. So that system might have 1, it might have 2, which is very rare, but it will always have 1 A class tool, sometimes 2, but it will also have maybe 1 or more C class, 1 or more B class, or a C and 2 Bs, or 2 B or 2 Cs and a B, as well as the A. So one of those 4 tools in each planet will always be an A class. That's guaranteed in every single system. Even if it just has 2 tools, one of those will be an A class, because it has to be able to spawn into the S class cabinet, if that makes sense. So yeah, you haven't got to worry about that. Right, that's an S class cabinet. So let's have a look and see what else we've got. I haven't found anything that's really caught my eye for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I found a couple of nice ships, Jules, but I found a really good, that red multi-tool I found. Not on this save, but I found a really good red one. But yeah, I've been the same. It's been a bit bare for me. Right, yeah, it looks like I'm in the middle of a hunt for this one. But no multi-tool. Let's have a look and see what else I've got. It gets boring real quick. They need to add more interactive stuff. I really like I really feel like randomised systems with more active NPC environments like settlements would add a lot. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of hope that these settlements were going to be, you know, quite interesting and quite interactive, but they turned out to be complete and utter garbage, didn't they? Yeah, so this is one that I'm in the middle of hunting at the moment. Nothing special, but I quite like that it's got green, green and green. So let me just see if I can get a couple more settlements here. You'll see that annoyingly this this system spawned on a bloody moon, didn't it? This tool spawned on a moon. I broke one of my rules here. Got to run. Thanks for all the great info. Cheers all. Yeah, see you later, Al Ross. Thanks for joining, mate. And enjoy the rest of your evening or day, wherever you are in the world. Five more minutes, and I'm going to call it a day myself. I did find a system with 2 paradise planets that are Tim's favourite biome and S-class cabinet in the space station. But I sent it to him for future builds instead of posting it. That's a nice extra for people, that. Yeah. Yeah, I've been to a couple of Tim's builds. I went to that robot one that was featured in the Anomaly. That was brilliant. That was. The only base that I've been to of Neurosi is I went to her aircraft carrier. That was quite cool. No, it's not going to happen. I thought I'd just see if a S would pop. I'm not sure how many settlements I'm in, but I'm about 30 or 40 on this. Yeah, that is going to be me done for tonight. The update ruined my freighter as well, by the way. It's completely, that really good quite big freighter build that I had has been ruined in the recent update we had, which is quite annoying. So that's a shame. So I'll have to do a new freighter at some point as well. But yeah, cool. All right. Well, listen. Quite a few people joined tonight, so I hope at least one of you has picked something new up that you may not have known about before tonight's stream. It's probably been just a bit of background stuff for most people playing tonight, but if you've picked anything up, or if if you've learned something new, then great. That's what these things are all about. Just obviously ask as many questions as you can, and just see if we can help out as a community. That's what we do in No Man's Sky, right? So I'll do another one of these, probably not this week. I'll probably do a bit more Subnautica this week and into the weekend, but I'll do another one in the next couple of weeks, probably next week. Maybe not as long, and hopefully we'll get a bit more luck. Jules has put Rose's flying ship is next level. Oh, yeah, I need to go and visit that. I haven't seen that one yet. So I'll definitely go and visit that probably at the weekend. Thank you for the stream. No worries, Andreas. Yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for all your comments. Don't forget to obviously like if you can. If you haven't already given it a bit of a thumbs up for the old algorithms and whatnot, then please do. Just a bit of support, doesn't cost anything. And yeah, look, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope it all goes well with work or whatever you're doing. Take it easy. Stay safe. And I'll catch you all either in some Subnautica streams this week, or possibly in another No Man's Sky stream on Multitools next week. So yeah, cheers for joining, and I'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys.